Jesus, guys, look at this dark ass cloud right here. Damn. I was gonna go for a ride today, but I'm gonna change the oil on this thing, and probably not gonna get to ride now because I've been working on my GS and then it clouded up. Had a bunch of stuff to do. So, yeah, this really sucks. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I told you I was going to do a video on changing the oil on my CB500F. I think it has 1,090 miles on it. Anyways, I had to go down and get some coolant for my bike. It wasn't registered on the reservoir, so I basically went down and got some HP coolant. It's blue. Honda coolant is blue. So, and I got the oil. It's a GN4. It's nothing really super special. It's what they would use to change the oil on this bike. It's for 4-stroke bikes. It's a 1040 weight SI oil, and it's a good oil. So I think save some money. Roughly, I think I spent on the filter and on the oil, I think I spent maybe, I want to say $43. So, and then my time. So basically what you're going to be needing is, of course, your oil filter. And if the bike has never had the oil changed, you're going to need an oil wrench just to make sure you can get it off. I've been doing oil changes on cars and bikes for a long time, and I always tighten them up by hand. And if you get nervous about it after you've changed your oil, you ride your bike, just let it cool off for a few minutes and then reach in there and see if you can turn it. And if it turns a little bit more, then good. So that way you know it's tight. But so an oil wrench. So anyways, what we're going to be needing is, on this, I do believe, you take your 3/8, and let's see, this is 12 millimeter. So basically that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be changing the oil. So you definitely need an oil pan. I'm sorry guys that I haven't been doing, I was going to do a video last week, and not getting off this subject, but I had a little bit of problems putting I was putting the tumbler in for the GS, and basically there's the tumbler, it changes the gears in there, and then you have a bearing in there that rides like this, and then every time you switch gears that bearing rolls and it turns this way. Well, you have these two dogs in there that are like this, and then in the back of the tumbler there's little springs, and there's these little pins in there, and basically when you're switching gears it squeezes like this. And so as I was putting it in there, I had it all together, and the thing popped out. It went flying across the garage somewhere. I couldn't find it. So, needless to say, at Babbitt's Online, I had to call them, ordered the parts, cheap, nationwide back order. So, I ended up getting one of the pins. So basically, I'm going to be doing that today too. Maybe do a video on it if I can. But anyways, goal is to change the oil on the bike. So basically what I did is I warmed the bike up. I got the bike up to operating temperature. It's been sitting here for a few minutes that way so I don't burn myself on the exhaust. So basically, typical oil pan. You shove it under there. You guys should know how to do all this. For people that are not mechanically inclined, this is very easy, guys. You don't have to spend $110 for them to go in there and change your oil. So basically, you could go to Walmart and you can get you a set of tools probably for 40 bucks that's got all these sets of tools in it just to work on this bike. Just enough to where you can do minimal maintenance on this thing, and it's real easy. I wouldn't waste your money on going to a dealership. If it's in warranty and you guys have got a package on there where they change the oil, they check all the fluids on the bike, by all means take it in there and have it done. But me, my warranty was up on my bike. I got a year warranty on it, and I can basically do everything on this bike that I need to do is changing the brakes and whatnot. So I'm gonna get my handy dandy gloves on, and then we're gonna start changing the oil. So basically what I'm gonna be doing now is I'm gonna be putting my 12 millimeter socket on here just to show you guys. I'm gonna get underneath the bike, and hopefully you guys can see this bolt that's under here. And like I said, I've already warmed the bike up. So righty tighty, lefty loosey. That thing is tight. I cracked it loose. You heard it pop. So I hope you guys can see that. We bring our oil pan over here. And it's messy, so if you guys don't mind getting dirty. But like I said, I kind of like doing this. I don't know what they have break-in lube and stuff like that on the engines when and you can see that it's super clean oil. You can see through that oil right there. And we're gonna get up here and we're gonna clean this bolt off here. Like I said, you don't need to put any more than probably, I would say, maybe 5 to 7 pounds of torque on this at the most. But by all means, check the manual and see what it says. This bike does come with a manual, so you can check it. Anyway, once it comes to a slow drip and it's just like dripping probably I would guess every 15 seconds, then you're fine. You got all the oil out. The sight glass down here, and you have the levels low and high. You want to get it kind of in between there. And I just basically bought a gallon of oil because that's what we're going to be putting back in here. So, and it looks like it's down to a slow drip. Also too, basically you want to remove the oil cap because of course you got to refill the oil up in here. But you want to check this even on newer used bikes. Sometimes things happen, and I've had them even on, like, I bought a 750 Nighthawk back in, what year was it? I want to say 90. It was 2 years old, and the guy had bought the bike, changed the oil on it I think a few times, but the threads right there, these things are plastic. The one that I had was metal, and it stripped all this off in here, and then the seal was all like crunched over because you have like a little rubber grommet. So when you're just servicing your bike, just make sure that you look at all that and make sure that there's nothing stripped in there. Otherwise you're going to get blow by out through that your casing right here, and it's just going to start spraying oil everywhere, and you don't want to get that on your back tire. Okay, you can see it's probably dripping maybe every 15 seconds, and we're safe to put the bolt back in the oil pan. Okay guys, I put the bolt back in, and you know, another good thing about this is being a new rider and you get a bike like this and you do all this stuff yourself, you know, you get to know your bike a lot more better than just having somebody else do it, you know, because you just have the faith in them to make sure that the oil's changed on the bike and it's all been serviced and the pressure's been checked, the chain's been cleaned, and you put your faith in that. And you know, back in the past I've had some issues with things as far as, I'm trying to get the camera over here, is people doing service work on my vehicles. And I've actually had some bad luck. Get this over. I had to get the camera out of my way. So I'm only going to push. I'm using arm strength. I'm not going to go too far. I do not want to over torque this bolt because that's about as far as I'm going to go. This kind of thing, you're not interested in it, by all means, like I said, take it to a really good mechanic and have them do it. We're going to take the oil filter off. Oops. Get some light on there. Oil filters can be a pain in the ass if they've been really wrenched on there, and that's why I said get you a 3/8, stick it on there, and I want to see if I can actually try to unloosen this with my hand. And like I said, that's tight as hell, and I can't. So we're gonna need a 3/8. You're gonna need a 3/8 socket, and probably, or not a 3/8 socket, but a 3/8 ratchet. And you're gonna need an extension so you can get past all the BS. This thing needs a little bit of persuading. That's why I said you need one of these at first, because the thing was just like way too freaking tight. Take this off. Just gonna drain it out, get it away from the exhaust pipe if you can, the header. All right, guys, now that we got that all done, we just take this off, get the rest of your oil down here in your oil filter. Take a rag, drip some on the floor. If you have any alcohol, you can probably rub it on the floor and clean it up with that so it ain't all slick when you're walking around your work area. I always keep some of that on hand just because, especially because of painting parts, and just discard the oil filter wherever. Okay, once you've taken your filter off, you got the area cleaned up, got all your oil drained out and everything, what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of oil and you're going to dump, don't fill it up like you would a V8 or something that plugs in from the bottom, or a diesel motor. Just take a little bit of oil and dump it in there like halfway and just let it sit for a few minutes. And you're going to roll it around like this. Okay, and what it's going to do is you're going to start the bike and there's going to be oil instantly in the filter. So there'll be oil going up in the cylinder and down into the crankshaft as well. So you're just going to let it do this. You're going to roll it around in there, and it's going to fill it up about halfway, and then you're not going to see any more oil in there. You see that? Look closely. You're not going to see any oil in there. And then I'm going to put some more in there, just a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit more oil in there, and I'm going to roll it around again. And I'm going to do that a couple of more times just to make sure that the filter, you can see the oil kind of pooling down in there, but you can still tip it and put it in there without it like coming out. There's no oil coming out, but you can kind of see some down in there. So, and then, like I said, you're going to do that a couple more times. And then what you can do is you can take some oil like this and put it on this rubber seal around here. And just take it and wipe it around there like that. All right, once you got the oil filter pretty soaked good, you're just going to take your filter and screw it on there. Get on there as fast as I can. Get it on there without cross-threading it. I'm doing this kind of messed up. I'm trying to get out of the way of the camera here. You do not want to strip these threads, guys, because you'll be in a world of hurt if you do. You just want to get it on there, spin it on there real good. I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just gonna hand tighten it. I'm not gonna wrench it on there. You do not want to wrench it on there. You get it too tight, you're gonna deal with like what I was dealing with, and then it's gonna be fun getting it off. There's people that take a screwdriver and punch it through here, and try turning it, and then you rip the filter open, you got a big mess. And like I said, alcohol, rubbing alcohol is a good thing to have. You can wipe some on your hands or whatever. Make sure your filter's cleaned off real good. And I'm just gonna hand tighten this as tight as I can get it with my hand. This metal expands as it gets hot. And that's good enough. That's tight. Job done on that. You want to get yourself one of these. I bought another one. If this does not fit down in here, I also have got this. And I think I cleaned that out good enough. But I'm just basically going to use this. Or I bought another one that we use for our DEF for our semi trucks. Nice and clean. It might have more of a narrower and it does. And you just stick that right down in there like that. And I'm probably going to have to hold it, but it works a lot better than the other one. Like I said, probably want to get a rag just to be safe and put it down here. And get on the floor. Common sense, man. Common sense. And we're going to fill it up to the probably about this line here first. And then I'm going to lean the bike over. That oil wasn't dirty at all. It probably could have gone another 2,000 miles before it even needed to be changed. Just kind of take your time doing this. Be patient with it. You don't want to fill it up all the way up to the top of here, or you're going to get spillage. That's why I have the rag there, in case it drips. We're already at, what, 1.5 quarts? You can start seeing the oil in there, actually. And I'm just going to lean the bike over so we get all the oil in there. You don't want to overfill it, because if you overfill it, it's going to foul the plugs out. And this thing is not going to run. It's going to run like shit, man. Alright guys, so you can see that I can screw this back on real quick. Had to turn the camera off for a second. You can clean this stuff up, but I wanted to get the light over here so you guys can see this. The oil filler gauge down here. Right there. Tip the bike over. See that? It's right at the line. You can see where the oil was down here. If it needs any more oil in it, it'll give me a little warning light, a dummy light. Give her a good go. Make sure she's okay. And below that line there. It might need a little bit of oil in it, but nothing leaking. Just want to run it for a few minutes, make sure there's nothing leaking. Got everything tight. Damn, guys, it looks like we're good. Good, huh? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try real quick. I'm gonna try taking this out, and I'm gonna pull this baffle out to see how loud this exhaust is. Give me a few minutes and I'm gonna do that. I took the baffle out of my bike, and so you got a retainer ring. Took it out. You can see down in there, it's a big empty hole. So let's start it and see what happens. You guys heard it from before. Here we go. Holy shit. You guys gotta love that Compton exhaust, man. Not bad for a $200 slip-on, and that's with the cat on there. Anyways, guys, if you learned anything from my video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please give me a subscribe. I'll do another video as soon as I can. Talk to you later. Peace!